Good morning. I just realized my mic was never muted, so oh well. Hello, Damon. You already here? Yes, like you were here before I was. Thanks, man. Yeah, I'm gonna try and stick around this time. But damn, never underestimate how complicated life can be if you have essentially multiple jobs and very small children. Okay. Let's get into it, shall we? So I think I have something. I'm passing ship into a ship view class. Yes, I am. Yeah, so what I'm trying to do with this game, I don't know if it's really necessary, right? But I've separated simulation logic and Unity completely. So the ship exists in C#, and I created what do you call them? Man, what are these things called? Assembly definitions. Yes, like it. I created assembly definitions. So I have a simulation assembly definition that lives at the top level, right? It does not require anything else as far as I remember. Yeah, it's the first thing. It doesn't use Unity or anything else. It's pure C#, and that's where I do all the logic, all the controlling, all the fancy things. Then I have a presentation layer, which is where Unity obviously gets involved. And so then I create these way simpler classes like ship view, who essentially just need to occasionally, or how many times ever it needs to, ask something about the ship or register to some event that the ship does. So you'll notice the ship view has very little code, right? But if I open the ship, I think I have it open. The ship is quite a bit more complex, right? Because the ship is the actual thing that's doing something. Now, I don't know if this is better, right? I saw some videos, I think it was Get or somebody, talking about assembly definitions and how they're good and whatever. And then I also heard something about separating logic and presentation from some other guy. And then I thought, this is going to be amazing. So yeah, that's my story. It gets a little bit complicated sometimes, having almost like two things for everything, if that makes sense. But overall, it's nice having the separation, I guess. It's one of your friends. Oh, I thought. I guess. Hey, I'm opening Get Discord. Yeah, I thought I saw you there. There you are, one of the supporters. Nice. Small world, eh? His videos are pretty good, eh? I enjoy his stuff. I can't say I understand half of it, right? I'd be honest. It feels like for me to completely comprehend the 15-minute video that he releases, I'd have to go spend an additional 5 hours researching everything he said. But I like to imagine that one day I'm gonna watch his videos and be like, that makes complete sense. I should try that. And then I can just go and do it, right? Without having to have an existential crisis or something. Oh, that's crazy, man. Small world. You moved out of the country? You are in Canada, I think. I don't know. I think you said that once before. Maybe. Might have been somebody else. Okay, I'm gonna try. Move to the UK from Canada, okay. Interesting. Okay, let's try and play the game. I know for a fact there are bugs. Because it was still doing some weird things. But I don't have enough, I don't display enough information during gameplay to actually know what the bug is. So I need to do something about that. What was the main problem? I can't really remember. I think it was something with the fuel. Yeah, I think it's my freighter logic. Okay, so what we can do is we can build the logistics hub and the outpost, make an extraction node. Okay, then we can produce a couple of, yeah, let's produce deep extraction modules. Why not? And a couple of fusion modules, just because we need power. Okay, so all that works nicely. We can install the power there. We can install the extractors. Fly away. Okay, now I need to fly to... let's just fly far away. I think the game speed is on 5x. It's fine, we're testing, right? So... Okay, so this was the issue. So we're burning through our volatile matter. Okay, which is our fuel source. Now, if I have an import here, wait, no, let's add the export first, right? Let's say this thing is able to export volatile matter and it needs to keep around 1,000. Except, I'm paused. Okay, so it's got some backup. And you need to import volatile matter. And let's give it a number that I know it's gonna import at least 1,000 now. Okay, so 1,500. Okay, so this is the thing I saw. So you'll notice it's sending some ships now it's exporting fuel, right? But let's go to scene view. You won't be able to see which ships these are, and that's kind of my problem, right? I know they are probes. Well, no, they're not probes. Those are just the... Yeah, I can't actually see which kind of ships they are. And that's not the problem. I can already tell there's something wrong here because I have large tankers that are meant to be used when you have a large amount of fuel that you want to send. Right? Because that only makes sense. Why would you send 10 small ones if I know for a fact I have a large one that can handle about the same amount of fuel as 5 of these? Right? So there's something wrong with my logic for selecting ships here. And I really thought it was working. But I guess this is the first time I'm testing a mix of big and small ships. Previously I was only doing small ships. But now I have a mix, and obviously this is not correct. Yeah. And this is also what I mean by I don't actually display enough information currently for me to properly debug this. Because what kind of ships are those? I don't know. Okay, so let's see if we can fix that in some way. That's probably why ship view was open. Because I was thinking about this. Okay. I was thinking of just making something display in the console, but that feels like it's going to be annoying because it's just going to spam the hell out of me. So let's go into Unity and let's add a little thing onto this ship. Prefab that can display the name or something like that, right? So that when I zoom in, I can see actually what it is. What would that be? That would be something like a Text Mesh Pro thing. Text. Do I not have? Oh yeah, text TMP. I actually don't know what all these things are. I've never really used many of them. Okay. So let's just put it there. A text container. Okay, and now what? How do I add text here? Do I even really have Text Mesh Pro installed? Or like the whole... you know, where is this again? Package Manager. Let me just see. Oh, it was damage numbers that I'm thinking of. Yes, this was the thing I was using before. Okay. I might actually include this again, but yeah, okay, no, this is not actually what I want. Okay, so how do I add text here now? Probably not like this. Probably what I need to do is I need to create a UI element. Yeah, that's probably the thing. Yes, and then I get a canvas text here. Yep. Okay, I'm just gonna call this the ship name, And then I can do something like, this is a small tanker. Okay, canvas, you need to be not overlay screen space, but world space. Event camera, isn't it just the main camera? Yeah, where exactly is this canvas now? Oh, it's pointing up. Or it's just not in the... Okay, but let's just reset this. Okay, there's the canvas. We need to rotate this thing around the X. There we go. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Yes, this font is massive. I guess we can add to this thing UI panel. Right. Maybe just a white panel. Okay, now we can actually see what it's trying to do here. It's quite small. Okay, let's see. So if I change the width now, okay. So 10 is about okay. The height, yeah, 3.5. And let's just change the position. Okay, not the Y position, the Z position. Like so. Okay, then the ship name, I think if I just do that, and then I reset this. Okay, that was dumb. Like so. And now it's centered and stretched and all that good stuff. Yeah, what's bothering me is the font size here. Font size is literally a 1. 1.5. It seems like I don't have a lot of room to work with here. Okay, let's just make the font size 1. Let's make it bold. And let's just stick it in the center. Now, this is ugly. But it's only a debug panel for now. Okay. Now, in my ship view, what I could do is when I initialize, well, first I can also do serialized field, private, text, TMP. What is this thing actually? TextMesh Pro Text UI, that's the component I want, right? Why can't I? Can't remember. TextMesh Pro Unity Text UI. How do you access this thing again? Okay, I need to be using TextMesh Pro, I guess. Okay, my bad. TMP row. This doesn't seem correct. Okay, so it's text mesh pro u GUI. Like, this is really not the thing I was thinking I'm gonna struggle with now. Okay. Why was it giving me flippin' trouble here? Ship name. Okay, there we go. That was such a stupid thing. Anyway. Okay, so we get the ship, but now what we can do is we can do ship name dot text. I suppose, right, that I could just set that to ship.definition.id. Okay, so now at least I should be able to see oh, my presentation does not have text mesh in the assembly definition. Interesting. Okay. So over here, I need to add, I guess, Text Mesh Pro. Like so. And now the presentation layer can use TextMesh Pro, which I would have guessed it should have been using for a while now, but I never added it, so I didn't realize it's separate from just using Unity, but okay. Okay, that at least gets rid of our problems here. Okay, so this is gonna be ugly, but at least it'll help me verify what exactly is going wrong here. Let's check it out. It's also not gonna work. Yes. Because I didn't give the reference. I needed to drag this in there. Yep. My bad. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, fantastic. So let's do something like that again, where we construct a logistics hub and an outpost. Okay, fantastic. And then, oh, I didn't want to build a research place, but okay. We can go over here. We can do some production, some deep extraction modules. Don't know why I'm building 3, but it's fine. Let's just build some fusion power, because that's... Okay. Power, get me one of those. Here it comes. Okay, so if I pause now. Guess I need to go into the scene to see this text. Okay, this is a small courier. And that's perfect. That should be a small courier. But I knew that because it was red. So at least this one wasn't a surprise to me. Okay, but anyway, extraction. Let's install these two. Don't think I can put a third one. It allowed me to put a third one. Okay, this is going to be interesting. Is that allowed? I don't think it is. Now, the third one's not working. So we found another bug. It allowed me to install a third. Okay, you know what? Let's just go here. Yeah, that's what I'm doing now. And then I should say that somehow could add a third deep extraction module. I think limit should be 2. Okay, check what's up with that now. I think I know what's the problem there. Okay, but anyway, let's just have some time pass here. So we've used some of our volatile matter. I guess I could reduce this number as well, so I don't have to wait for it to reduce every time. But anyway, we'll have a logistics export here of volatile matter. We'll tell it to keep around 1,500, whatever. Also need to fix that because it starts unpaused, but it says paused there. Kind of annoying. Okay, but anyway. And then you want to import volatile matter. And let's say you want 8,000. Okay, and here we see a bunch of ships coming out. Let's get them to spread out a bit. Pause. Okay, let's go see what's happening here. So like it's as I expected, we have a bunch of light tankers and then one medium tanker. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 light tankers. So this represents 2,000 fuel and then this is 1,000 fuel. I actually have another medium tanker coming with another 1,000 fuel. So in total we have 4,000 fuel being sent. That's interesting. Well, okay, I guess we need 3,100. Okay. So it realized that there's another shortage potentially and it already sent the next. Okay. So the problem is, why don't we just send a couple of medium tankers? Why is it sending small ones? Right. Okay, let's stop it there. Let's go have a look at the code. Okay, I think most of it's happening in the logistics network, so let's pull it over and give it a good old read. Okay, so for full demands, I think this is the one that's obviously being done. So we have a demand for fuel, and then we need to fulfill the demands. Okay, so first we just clear a couple of lists and supplies. We let our logistics update. This is basically the nodes. So all the nodes need to update and get their demands in order. So this is fine. Nothing here could really explain the issue. Okay. We get all the suppliers. So this is just all the potential suppliers. That should also not be the issue. this is where it starts. Fulfill demands from highest score to lowest. Okay, so we go into resource demands. We get our demand score. And we get a demand list. So we need to go through. How exactly did I make this thing work? Okay, this is a list of resource demands with an integer as the key, and the integer is basically the possible scores that we can have. Yeah, okay. So it goes down this list from high scores to low scores. Okay, that makes sense. So that's what this is, which is the key. Okay, then we go through each demand in the KVP value, which is just our list of demands. Okay, that's fine. I think the demands themselves are not necessarily the problem. So let's see. Possible suppliers. We get all the possible suppliers. We remove the demand origin from the possible suppliers. So you can't supply yourself. That was a problem that happened a couple of times. So we invoke. Okay, this is just me debugging stuff. So how many suppliers there are. Okay, then we have these criteria multipliers. So fuel, utilization, time, and fulfillment are the three things that are important here. The more important the actual demand. Well, okay, based on the demand importance, this will change, right? So standard, it's just a 3 for everything. If it's a critical demand, so any score above 10 is considered critical. We do not care about wasting fuel. We do not care about sending a freighter that's not full. We care about getting it fast and getting as much as we can. Right. It doesn't really make sense how. Okay, so we get the best shipments from the hub. Maybe this is where it goes wrong. On the hub side. So the hub gets all these multipliers. It gets the resource, all this good stuff. Now, what does it do then? Okay, so it looks through all the idle ships. It checks max fuel spent per resource, max utilization, travel time, fulfillment, all that good stuff. So what I can see, and this might be the issue, is travel time might be my culprit, because those ships are clearly faster even if they're fully loaded. So perhaps we should have a look at how they are balanced currently. Maybe this should work. It might just be a balance problem. Okay, let's try. Let's open up the spreadsheet where I do my balancing. Okay, so this is the distance between Earth and Jupiter. We have a freighter mass, freighter capacity, shipment size, fuel used. Okay, I think this is potentially where the problem comes in. You see, here the score is still... Okay, let's go for a 3-3-3-3. It clearly wins, but somehow it's not winning. That's so bizarre. Unless I calculate this incorrectly in my code. Let's also just make sure the numbers are correct in my scriptable objects. So I think I changed those. Ships. Okay, so a light tanker uses actually 5 fuel, and it's got a mass of 50. Okay, so that is a difference. Fuel use 5, mass of 50, and I think this one uses 10 fuel then. Okay, the masses are still correct. The light tanker can take 200, the medium tanker can take 1,000. Okay, and I think those are still correct. So yeah, so even with that and nothing critical about it, it still deems it better to use this thing. Right, because if you think about it, we take the demand score, which is normalized, right? So we take utilization and fulfillment. So that's, we add them together and then we subtract time taken and fuel spent. Right, and this one clearly loses on fulfillment. It wins on time, right? Because it's faster. I wonder if I should just combine time and fulfillment in some way. Well, I technically do. I technically do, but it should be something like a rate, right? So a resource rate. So it's fulfillment per time or something like that. Because if you think about it, so if I had to do that, it would probably be something like, okay, whatever your normalized fulfillment is divided by the time. So this is a 1. So it's let's go up. And this is 0.44. Right, because it's only 0.6, but it's doing 1.3. Now, if it was fulfilling more, it'd obviously get a much higher score. Yeah, something like a fulfillment rate instead. So we have a fulfillment rate, and then we have, these are like efficiency numbers, right? So we have a fulfillment rate, which we want to be maximum. And then we have a efficiency side here. Right, so what if we did something like that? So let's do fulfillment rate. So that would be the amount that we fulfill divided by the normalized time. So it's normalized, all of this is normalized. Okay, these ones are massively fast. Okay, but between these two, and then the score becomes something like maybe fulfillment rate minus okay, we need to be careful here because this is a small number now, and this one's quite big. How is this the normalized utilization? Because it's still multiplied by 3. Okay, maybe we don't multiply these by anything then. Unless we multiply the fulfillment rate by something. Okay, but what I'm thinking now is, if your fulfillment rate is now obviously not going to be a big number necessarily, like 0.44, your utilization being a 1 in this case is basically just gonna completely overshadow this number. So what we could do is fulfillment rate minus fuel use, potentially as a score. Okay, then clearly the medium freighter wins, right? Because its fulfillment rate is high, and it's not using a lot of fuel. Even though it's slower. I like the fulfillment rate idea. I think that's better. I'm not sure how to have fuel and utilization as part of that. I guess just subtracting the fuel is fine. Maybe we should normalize the fulfillment rate as well. Yeah, so we do something like we do over here. Just so none of the numbers get massive like this one over here. Well, this one is quite massive still, but... yeah, so in this case, the fulfillment is so high on this one that the others become fairly irrelevant. Right, because the fulfillment is half and the time is almost nothing. Yeah, okay, that's because I'm mixing previous balances with this one. So if I make these 10, 10, 25, it might look a little bit more realistic. Obviously, it's very close by. But this is effectively flying from Jupiter. This is flying from like Earth, Mercury or someplace. In relatively speaking. Yeah, but I mean, you get the point still. This one is better. This one is next up. Then only will this one be considered. Okay, I like that. I think I'm going to change it to have the fulfillment rate instead. Okay, so when we look at our logistics node. Okay, let's go back to... Maybe we don't do a time multiplier or fulfillment multiplier. We can do a fulfillment rate multiplier. Okay, so let's imagine everything is 3 on time, utilization, and fulfillment rate. Okay, so in a situation like that, it's still clearly the case that they win. Okay, but if fuel and utilization is not important and fulfillment rate is critically important, and then we see a little bit of change, but not significant, because it turns out, you know, these ones are still better. Okay, well, I guess this one wins now. Right? Yeah, so all of a sudden these ones start winning with the bad fuel use. Okay. Because they have a higher fulfillment rate. Okay, so yeah, we could still do that. I'm happy with that, so let's stick it in there. So fuel multiplier, utilization multiplier, and then we have int full fulfillment rate multiplier. Okay, we'll do something like that. And we'll actually just get rid of these two. Okay, so when something is critical, we set the fulfillment rate multiplier to 5. Like so, right? And then our logistic node now no longer requires, and this is going to break a lot of stuff. Okay, so we want an int fulfillment rate multiplier. Okay, and then over here we do fulfillment rate multiplier instead. Okay, let's do that. Okay, now let's go and check how this works out. Okay, these are just the maximums. Okay, so we need to go through okay, we just check if we have the resource available either in our exports or supply, because that changes sometimes. Get our idle ships. If we don't have any, we add a block demand. That's a whole separate story. Okay, then we have this maximum. So create shipments and set maximums. Okay. For each freighter, create what is called a shipment with the freighter and the resource, and then we add it. Okay. Now, right, what we need to do here now, max, so this is going to be fulfillment rate. Okay, none of that nonsense anymore. Let's open up our shipment. This is now okay. We have a fulfillment, travel time, etc., etc. Okay, wait a minute. How did I calculate my fulfillment rate? It's the normalized values. Okay. Yeah, so normalized fulfillment, and then I need a public float fulfillment rate, and then I also need the normalized fulfillment rate, right? So right here, when we update the shipment values, we go fulfillment rate is just equal to okay, wait, we can't do it here because we use the normalized values, right? So actually, when we set the normalized values, we need to go we still need these two, actually. Okay, interesting. Okay, so then we can do fulfillment rate, which is equal to the normalized fulfillment divided by the normalized travel time. And then the now I need to do this another time because now I need the maximum fulfillment rate. Now, if I don't normalize these, what ends up happening is I get these massive numbers, which means the other numbers are kind of pointless. So I don't want that. So I need to normalize this one as well. So we could do public void normalize fulfillment rate. Guess we could do that. And we can send in a float max fulfillment rate. Something like that. And then we could do normalized fulfillment rate equals fulfillment rate divided by max fulfillment rate. Okay. That's a bit wonky. Okay, so let's see how this goes then. Okay, so what we do is we create the shipments, we add them to our temp result. Okay, that's fine. Dot count less than equal to 0. Okay, no more ship left. Block them on. Okay, cool. Do we just do that thing? Okay, update shipment values. Okay, so that's over there. Okay, we update the values. That's perfect. And we set the maximums. And I guess what we also need now is a float max full. I think I know what went wrong. I can already see it. I set the max to 0, but you'll notice... No, the maximum will always be a positive number. The score might not be a positive number. Okay, so this is fine, but my score, I need to be careful of setting a score that's 0. Okay, but I don't do that. Okay, so it shouldn't be a problem. Okay, so we set the maximum. So we go through each shipment. We update the values of the shipment. So these things. We get all the maximums. Yeah, we can't get the fulfillment rate maximum at this stage because, well, it wasn't set yet. Okay, then we set the normalized values. And then we actually need to do another pass. Shipment in temp results. After the normalized values are set, we have a maximum fulfillment. And then we need to do if shipment dot is greater than the max fulfillment rate, then our max fulfillment rate is equal to my fulfillment rate, right? So that we just do that thing. So we have to go through all the shipments again to get the max fulfillment set. Okay. Then we do that again to normalize them. Okay, shipment dot normalize fulfillment rate, and we pass in the max fulfillment rate. Right, and only then, after we've normalized this, yes, like this is a very clunky thing now, all of a sudden. Can we calculate the score. Okay, so my I have many problems, but I wonder if we can't make it so that we don't use normalized values. I think that would fix it. We don't need the normalized. So fulfillment rate, what if it was this instead? Wait, how does that change? Okay, so these are the scores before we do anything. And let's just paste values over there. Right, okay, that's fine. So we now normalized fulfillment, no. Fulfillment rate, we use the actual time and the actual fulfillment percentage. Okay, wait, is the actual fulfillment a percentage normally? Let's go back and check. Yeah, that's now another way this could differ. So for a shipment, no, it's just shipment size divided by available demand. I don't multiply it by 100, so that's an important thing to note. That would mean this is not correct. I think I made it that way just for readability's sake, but okay. So that's now... And then our fulfillment rate becomes quite a small number because the time, which is just in seconds, is maybe a big number. Okay. Okay, then normalizing that, we get this. And... it's actually exactly the same. Okay, so I should have done that first. Yeah, so we could just use the fulfillment straight. Okay, so this was stupid. Yeah, so we can do this, right? Our fulfillment can just be our fulfillment over travel time. No problem there. And then this could be that. That could be inputted over here. We actually don't need these normalized values then anymore. I don't think so. Okay, so that would help this stuff quite a bit. Okay, we don't need this. Go away. Okay, we can do that. So this is when we set the maximums. So fulfillment rate is greater than max fulfillment rate. Right, because we set the fulfillment rate in update, so it was set there, so we can actually check this. Okay, so now set normalized values. Let's think about this. Do I intend to use my normalized fulfillment or travel time? I do not, so we can get rid of those two. Get rid of that, and then this thing can just have a max fulfillment rate instead. And oh no, it needs max utilization here. Which means I don't need to calculate these two. Which means I don't need to have them as variables there. Okay, so now it's a little bit simpler. So we update the shipment values, we look at the fulfillment rate, Okay, we set the normalized values, and then once they have been normalized, everything is there, so we can straight calculate the score now. Okay. We don't need to set the fulfillment rate separately. We don't need to calculate the score separately. And then we can do this again. Okay. So let's just get this thing sorted. Why are these integers? Oh, because all the values is coming from inside. Okay. Okay, this is our fulfillment rate multiplier that we need to put in here. Okay. Okay, now our score is going to look a little different. So score is now equal to normalized fulfillment rate multiplied by fulfillment rate multiplier. Okay. Minus plus our normalized utilization multiplied our utilization multiplier minus our time. So the longer it takes, the worse it gets. Okay, yeah. No, not time. Fuel. Yes. Normalized fuel per resource spent and fuel multiplier. So that's how we calculate the score now. Okay, now this should... Okay, so the shipments are then... So we get a best shipment, which we just use the first shipment initially. Then we check if the score of each shipment is better than the best shipment. Our best shipment becomes our shipment. We subtract our supply and demand, the available amounts at least, and we add our best shipment to result, and our temp result, we need to remove it because obviously it's not going to go back into the loop. If we don't have supply or demand available anymore, we can break out of this loop and return our shipments. Okay, so that's what we do in the logistics node. So we return a list. Okay. Now, in the logistics network, so that's what we do here. So we add at the range. Okay, so here we go again. And we need to do exactly the same thing because obviously this was just the best things. These were all the best results that could be supplied from the shipment or from the supplier. And there are multiple suppliers potentially, so now we just need to redo this to make sure everything is still in the correct order. So I'm going to get rid of these two and just work with a max fulfillment again. So we go through each resource and we check okay, we get all the maximums now for each shipment. Okay, basically we need to do this thing now. Okay. There we go again. Best shipment is the first shipment. Oh shit. Why is this in the loop? Ah, my word. We set it back to the first shipment every time. Oh wait, we should do that in the loop. Should we? Or we change the best shipment. I guess we should start from the beginning every time. Yeah, okay, no, never mind. Okay, yeah, we start by just setting the best shipment to that shipment. Then we go through all the shipments, we check the scores. If the score is better than the best shipment score, best shipment becomes that shipment. We're done. We reduce the demand amount left. Selected shipments, we add the best shipments, we remove the worst shipment, we check if there's demand left, we break, we check if there's any unfiltered shipments, we break. Okay. So then we should at least have a list of all the selected shipments, which is great. So then we go to the supplier. Okay, guess that's fine. Now we do export shipment. Voila. And then we just update the resource supply, I guess, because it lost some resources. Okay. I didn't see, obviously I changed some of the logic now, but I also didn't see any glaring issues. And technically, this is the math I'm doing, and the medium freighter should win every single time. So yeah, that's a funny one. Okay. Also, the construction node, I'm just gonna come here and reduce the amount of fuel that it has so I can test this a little bit quicker. It's very strange that it would send the smaller ones. Maybe I should report the score somehow. Now, the problem is this is now the simulation, so getting any information out of the simulation is a little bit of a pain. It's a small amount of pain, I can tell you that much. Now I'm sure what I'm thinking is there should be a way to get the ship associated with this. It should have some kind of a unique identifier, right? Let's check. Object, unique, identifier, C#. I don't give it one, but it should have one built in, right? Okay, never mind. Okay, doesn't have one, so I'll have to give it one if I want to give it one. Ha. It's kind of annoying. Yeah, so we have all ships here in a list. Let's see, maybe I could just do this simply. Add new ships, all ships.add. So I could just do private int ship ID. Okay. And it starts at ship 0. And then what I could do, let's call it ID number. Or ship number. Whatever. And in the ship, I could give it public ship number. I'll keep it like that for now. So what I could do is now when I add a ship, I could do ship number is equal to ship number, and then ship number, I can increment it. And then any ships that I add ever will get a ship number. Right? So that's a stupid way to do this quickly. And then in the ship view, ship name text, I can do ship dot ship number dot to string. You can just do a quick something like that with a dot, space, and then the ship definition ID. Yeah, I think that's fine. And then what I want to do. Okay, so in the logistics network, okay, so I'm gonna get rid of these logs. Well, actually, one thing I want to do. Okay, so I'm gonna go something like ship. Well, let's do this. Ship plus shipment. Not okay. What does a shipment have in terms of freighter behavior? Okay. Freighter behavior dot ship number. Okay, so we get the ship and ship number plus so ship 1, and then I just want that plus the score, so shipment dot score, right? Just gonna invoke that and see what is it doing when it selects the shipments, or it tells me which are the selected shipments. Okay, now I'll start with that, and then maybe I'll go back. If it keeps happening, I'll have to add more things to this log. But okay. Let's just save and let's try that. Let's see. I shouldn't have broken anything too ridiculous. I don't think so. Nope. Okay, and I should just be able to go, wait. Build a logistics hub. Okay, great, fly away. And then I should be able to ask the logistics hub to import, add new import some volatile matter. Now let's make it exactly 1000. So I'll want 2000 volatile matter. Accept amount. Okay, it's not paused. Now, as soon as I set the logistics here, you know what, let's actually go back to the manager and just make the game slower. Okay. Wait, did I manage the imports here or the exports? Okay, no, imports. Okay, that's fine. So I'll go to logistics, exports, add new export, volatile matter. That's just how much I want to keep around, accept. Okay, so those are the ships. NAN for score. Oh. 5 possible shipments for volatile matter. Okay. Because the supply was dry. Okay, but there they go. And they are all light tankers. For crying out loud. Okay, so I still don't know what the problem is. But my debug here is... I should have done 2 string. At least. Okay, so ship 25, nan. Okay, so I couldn't see the scores. Okay, so that's the score, but now I don't know why the score is what it is, right? And these are the shipments it selected, so I can't even tell what the score would have been for the other shipments. So maybe I should... Okay, so the fact that we have the 5, so you'll notice it says here there are 5 possible shipments for volatile matter demand at supplier. And then it gives me the 5 ones. So I think the node is cocking up somehow. This thing is sending me the wrong ships. Need to go over this with a fine-tooth comb. So the first pass is already screwing it up. So idle ships. Needs to be a freighter behavior. Needs to be fueled. Wait, are the other ones not fueled? Oh shit. Just make sure I fuel all of them. Yeah, let's go to Vulcan quickly. Maybe they're not fueled. Hey Vulcan, add starting ships. Where's that happening again? Add shop. Okay, yeah, no. So we create a new ship. We refill the fuel. Okay, so they are fueled, definitely. Yeah, allowed cargo types, to list, no problem there. Okay, let's see. While true, we go through the shipments, we set the maximums. We normalize them, we calculate the scores, we set the best score, remove it from temp results. We already added the best shipment to result. So I didn't need to do this again, I guess. I don't think I need to anyway. But it is kind of annoying. Why? This doesn't make any sense. I need to... I need to do a log here and get all the shipments that I can look at. So my logistics node needs to do a log here. I don't know if I can access that. Structure dot... The node, you should have access to your structure. Well, you could just make it private, I guess. You don't need to... So structure dot logistics network dot on Can I not log from the side? Oh wait, I'm doing this on logistics log like that. I can't invoke it here. Ah, damn it. I need a... I need like a public void logistics log. I need a string here. If I just want to plug into the same thing. So on logistics log, invoke message. Okay, and I'll just have this node do it for me now. Okay, what is my message? Okay, so I think... Actually, I want to go through each shipment, right? Yes. For each shipment. Now. Work with me, hands. I need you to type properly. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna log them. Okay, so I want shipment dot freighter behavior dot ship, I guess, dot ship number. Okay, dot to string. Okay, so that's just the ship number so that I can, you know, have them all together. Okay, plus space. Okay, so ship number or whatever. And then I actually want to get the score. So Shipment. Okay, ship number 1 will have a score is equal to shipment dot score, right? But I also already know that this is kind of not going to work. Let's see. You can do. Okay, score. No, this is the incorrect character. That's the character I want. Score. Okay, then I need to get my score components, I guess, right? Yeah. Fulfillment rate is equal to plus shipment dot normalized fulfillment rate. Okay, so now we do fulfillment rate, utilization, and fuel use. Just shorthand there. This is normalized utilization. This is normalized fuel. Okay. Oh yeah, these all need to go to string. To string. Okay, so this is now every shipment in temp result. Before, okay, we calculate everything, then we get it all, and then we technically do this multiple times. Hey, okay. Okay, what about we just break here for now? Just for now. Temp break. Don't want to spam the log. Okay, so obviously this is not great, but like I don't want to do this, go through this loop several times and then keep, doing this with the temp result. I just want to see what all the result is after all the calculations are done. They should be quite similar to, well, if I make sure, I'll make sure my spreadsheet's correct, but if my spreadsheet's correct, they should be pretty similar. We'll leave it like that. Okay. Save. Let's go and give it a shot, shall we? Okay, so Vulcan, we can just build a logistics hub. Fly away. Fly away. Okay, let's add the export, logistics, export, add export, volatile matter, yeah. Unpaused, perfect. Logistics, import, add new import, volatile matter. I want 2000, accept amount, unpause. Okay. Very interesting. Is it not getting my logistics network? Oh, I never set structure. Yeah, here we go. Structure equals structure. This dot structure is equal to structure. Okay, there we go. That should fix it. Try it again. Okay, let's build a logistics hub. Fly away. Get our exports. So volatile matter 2000. Accept amount. Oh, it's paused. Okay, I'm paused. Why is the score nan? It makes no sense. It's like the score's not even calculated. Did I cock something up? I probably did. So it's just selecting the first 5 every time because all the scores are the same. Where is this thing doing that? Okay, so there's a score calculation error in the shipment, right? This calculate shipment score is clearly happening. Well, clearly happening. I mean, it should be happening there. Should I? Maybe, you know what? Maybe these should be floats. Cast them to a float first. Because it's like, it's fulfillment rate times... Also, why is my log message not complete here? Oh, no, it isn't. Oh, fuel use is nan. Okay, interesting. Okay, so it's happening with fuel use because fulfillment rate 0, utilization 1, fuel use nan. Okay, so fulfillment rate being 0, I assume that was that was me multiplying or converting this into an integer by somehow, because it's a small number. Right, but these are all floats as far as I know. Performance a float, max fulfillment rate is a float. When I set the normalized values, I use these maximums, which are all floats. And we don't really do much with them, we just set them to, okay, so everything's a float. Okay, but my time or fuel use is NAN. For all of these. Oh, there we have a fulfillment rate of 1 actually. Oh, that's the big ones. Because it rounded, it's exactly 1. It can fulfill everything. So this thing goes 0 or 1, basically. If it's less than 1, it's 0. Okay. Okay, fuel use per shipment sent. This is returning an integer. Okay, so when I divide and use it for multiplication and all that good stuff. Okay. We'll make you a float shipment size because it's doing some bad things with my stuff. And we'll cast this to float. Just in case. So now it's always a float. Okay. Floats and integers. For crying out loud. Now there's 20 other places that don't like this. What's the problem here? Can I just line convert type float? Like that. Fine, I'll do that if it helps. Okay, remove storage, remove resources. Okay, this is also taking an integer, not a float. Been painful, but anyway. Is it gonna work now? I flippin' hope so. Okay, we at least got rid of the errors. Now let's see if these scores are calculated correctly. Now, I was never able to debug this because I didn't have different types of ships. Okay, so construction, build a logistics hub, fly away. While you're there, make your export or fuel. Yep. Logistics, get an import for volatile matter. I want exactly 1000, accept amount, and unpause. Oh wait, no, change amount. I actually have 1000, I want 2000. Accept. Okay. Pause, let's analyze. Okay, fantastic. Okay. We have now a fulfillment rate, 0.44. Utilization and fuel use is exactly 1. Not sure why fuel use is so 1. Oh, they're just the best ones. Okay. Okay, and then based on the criticality, so it's 2.2 and 6.8. I don't know how critical they were. Let's assume super critical. Fulfillment rate of 1.44. 1 and 0.44. And something is a little off. Oh wait, this should be 1000, right? Okay, let's just start with a nice mellow. Three, 3. Oh wait, I can't get it higher than that because I have these other 3. Maybe this one was a 5, this one was a 1 and a 1. I'm not seeing the score they're posting here. I think all of this is correct. Fuel use is correct. Okay, let's go and look at the... Oh wait, I don't have the multipliers in there, so yeah, okay. So this is just fulfillment rate, utilization, fuel, and then the multipliers come in to give me that. Okay. So the final score I should be able to get, but not the... I have a feeling it's a 1-1-5 situation. 1.2 and 4.6. So not entirely. What is happening? Can't drive a spreadsheet. Hey. These are the normalized values. Okay, what if I just get the normal, not the normalized values, but just the fulfillment rate, the utilization, and the resource spent. I just want to see these numbers align with my thing. Also, these multipliers. So let's do another structure dot log. And I just want fuel utilization fulfillment. Yeah, let's just do fuel multiplier to string plus utilize. Plus for full fulfillment rate multiplier dot to string. And I guess we should probably add. Oh, okay, those brackets are all wonky. That's not the bracket we need. Yeah, we should probably just do a space in between, right? Something like that. Plus a space, plus a space. I want to see what these multipliers actually are. Okay, let's do this again. Okay, construction, builder logistics hub, fly away. Logistics, exports, add new export, volatile matter. Hey, imports, add new import. Volatile matter, 2000. Accept amount. Unpause. Okay. So let's go check. So first of all, oh, so it's 335, in fact. Interesting. Okay, so let's go to our spreadsheet and put them on 3, 3, and 5. Oh, this score is completely wonky. This is not the correct calculation. Yeah, so it's fulfillment plus utilization minus resource spent. So utilization. 2.2, 6.8. Okay. Okay, and if we look at our fulfillment rates and all those other things, those numbers make sense. Yep. Zero 0.001, 0.01. 0.001, 0.01. Okay, fantastic. Okay, the two are now speaking the same language. Fantastic. So what we'll do now, I'll just take all of this out. And then the game should now behave correctly. My word. So I should have done the debug messages first, I guess. These two strings are bugging me. Why are they not commented out? Hopefully that's not a problem. But okay. I did save that, didn't I? Yes. Okay, so now the game should actually work. Okay, I don't really care about the outpost. Just logistics, exports, add new export, volatile matter. Yeah, okay, whatever, that's fine. Imports, add new import. Volatile matter, 3,500. Accept amount. 35, 36, 37. So if we go to scene, it's 3 medium tankers. Exactly what we expected. Ugh, fantastic. That's what we wanted. It's now sending the right type of ship. Okay, there's a lot of problems with balance and stuff like that, so we'll have to sort that out at some point, but at least for the first time ever, it's doing the right thing. Yeah, so if I change this amount by 100, I don't think it actually sends anything because it's not that urgent. Yeah. Yeah, these heavy freighters are, or medium freighters are quite slow. And that's kind of an interesting thing to think about, because what could happen now is, you know, they take so long that you just kind of run out of fuel while you wait for your fuel to arrive, which I guess is a real issue. But that's where balancing comes in, right? That is just me tweaking stuff on the spreadsheets. Okay. I just want them to arrive. I guess I could make the game faster, right? They should start going faster here because space gets less compressed. Ooh, sure. Okay, here they come, and we should be getting, boom, 4,000. Right, because it sent a full tanker because it could. Perfect. Okay, now, there were some other things I think I wanted to try do, which were more architectural. Because I don't know why I didn't do it, but I didn't do it, so. Where exactly did I... Yeah, okay. Okay. So in my... Oh, where do I want to put this? I think... Yeah, so while I was building this, I wasn't really thinking about the, you know, how things come together and the hierarchy and all that type of things. You know, so you kind of have some things that are a little bit mismatched and some things that are very difficult to sort of access. Now you have this thing which... I don't know, this scriptable object data provider I don't like. Bootstrap I don't like. Simulation manager. Yeah, there's a lot of problems here. And also I have problems accessing certain things, right? So I also want to try and get that working together here. Okay, so this is just a game entry point. We have a presentation manager, simulation manager, just private. Okay. But what I was thinking is on the simulation side, we have the simulation manager, which is mostly, I think, what I want it to be. I actually don't know. You know what? Let's close all tabs but pinned. Let's clean things up a little bit here. Just close all those tabs. Okay, so I did this. Wait, I didn't do that one. That's a different bug that I found. Yeah, I did that thing. Okay, so this is a little bit of a different one. I want to update / improve game structure. Obviously not something anybody will ever see, but at least it's okay. Simulation. Okay, so if we go to the simulation manager, right, it's got access to a bunch of things, but it's not accessible itself, right? So I kind of want to do. Okay, this just initializes the simulation manager. What I kind of want to do is I want to make things that are always going to be, ever present. So I made a little list. What did I think? Yeah, so there's a bunch of things in the simulation that are persistent, and they are created at the very start of the game, and then they just kind of exist forever. Right, and the simulation manager is one of those things, and then all the stuff inside the simulation manager, also some of those things. So I think I want to do a static class here, right? Okay, then this should be public static void initialize. Okay, so now we have a bunch of problems here. So I just guess... Okay, maybe I don't do it this way. Okay, maybe I should make a new script and just call it game. Yeah. And then we can do public static game. Class class game. So this is just my game. And then inside the game, I'll have public static reference to my simulation manager. Yeah, public static. I want the definition database. Right. I kind of want to do something like this. And rather have get private set in these. Yeah. What else do I need? Okay. Public static random, I guess. This is also a thing that I keep having to use in weird places, and I hate initializing a new one every time. Public static. I think I want Vulkan here as well. It's one of those things that I want to access from almost everywhere. Yeah, so this is the game. The game is comprised out of a simulation manager, a definition database, just a random for niceties, Vulkan. I kind of think I want to add... So from my simulation manager, there's things in here like the logistic network and the solar system itself that I think I want to get as well. Because those are always going to be there. So public static logistics network, and then public static solar system as well. So all these things. And then we have a public static void initialize. Okay, and basically we need to give it a simulation manager. Ah, jeez. Simulation manager, definition database. Logistics network. Logistics network. Solar system. Vulkan. And there might be other things that I always want to be accessible. So this is basically my globals, right? These are things that I want to be accessible everywhere, anywhere. I don't want to pass them through, because what I've been doing is like the logistics network might be required at like a ship level. Now, a ship isn't a global thing accessible by everything, but the network itself is such a fundamental part that I want it to be accessible from anywhere. But what's happening now is you need to go and pass the logistics network from the simulation to the region, to the structure, to the node, to the module, to the ship, just so the ship knows about it. That's very clunky and I hate it. So I want to do this instead. Okay, so simulation manager. Let's see if this thing can do all of these. Okay, and then random is just a new random. Something like that, nice and clean, right? Just a place for everything to be. Okay. Okay, now when the game starts, now this is where you also need to think about Okay, so we have this game entry point, and that's fine. So the game entry point is a mono behavior. I kind of want to call this game, to be honest with you, as well. On the presentation side, right? You know, let's keep game entry point. Okay. And what we have here potentially is a public. No, we don't have a reference to game, right? Game is just always a thing. Okay, so when we start, we get a database, simulation, presentation manager, connect the two, blah, 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 blah. I don't know if I like the game database asset. There's so many weird things that I did. Okay, this is... Oh, it's a scriptable object, okay. Okay, this is fine. It just gets all the... things in one place, I guess. It is a scriptable object itself. Gal, I have to go through this and comb through it with a fine comb because we have the bootstrapper and all other kinds of weird things. Okay, yeah, so these are just all the definitions, subregions and regions. Yeah, okay, so we need these scriptable objects in here so that I can build out the solar system. And then this one obviously is for building out all the other stuff in the game. Okay, so that's fine. So we have the presentation manager. Okay. Okay, we have the simulation manager as well. So I kind of want to not have any of these things here. right? And like, I don't want it to be initialized with any of that stuff. I kind of want it to be able to just get the references straight from let's just do this first. So maybe I should go think about this. There's some refactoring in my future. Okay. Okay, I'll come break this a little bit later. For now, though, I think I'm going to call it there. It's about time I head out. So, shorter stream, but, you know, did something today, I think. I'm happy. Tomorrow, maybe I'll get some time to do this during the day. I hope I do. And then tomorrow, we can look at something new. Okay, everybody. Let me head out. Cheers.